Hello and welcome to Three Men and a Movie. Today we are reviewing the new Ricky Gervais film, which is called The Invention of Lying.
Hello? Yes, I'm with him right now. No, not very attractive. No, doesn't make much money. It's all right though, seems nice, kind of funny. A bit fat.
This film is written and, I was going to say presented, but acted.
And directed.
And directed as well. By Ricky Gervais. And the basic premise of the story is they live in a world where nobody lies, and Ricky Gervais's character invents lying. And through inventing lying, he becomes a very powerful man. And then obviously this carries on and turns into an anti-religion movie. I thought it was a film of two halves, wasn't it? It was the first half of the film where they were trying to get all the jokes in about, you know, what we would actually say to each other. Your hair looks a bit like a sheep's head.
I've just been masturbating upstairs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
In a film.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. We don't have an upstairs here, we have to say.
Yeah, there's that bit.
Yeah.
But there's the
second half.
The second half.
Yeah.
It suddenly becomes a whole film about how absurd the writers of the film believe religion is. Does that be fair to say that?
I think that is fair to say.
They were saying how absurd it was, and basically Ricky Gervais starts inventing lies about the afterlife and stuff.
Which turn out to be pretty much what people generally think about God.
Which is basically God, and then they say, just live your life like this and that'll be fine, and everyone starts following him. And it's, as you say, very much like is Sandal or that scene from Life of Brian. Was shoe. What did they say, Sandal or a shoe?
I can't remember, it's been a while. But my question is, Life of Brian all those years ago, 30 years ago, caused a huge fuss.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any fuss about this. Does that mean the world has moved on?
They're basically saying in the film, religion's a lie, aren't they?
Yeah, that someone came up with one day because he's bored.
Someone come up with something.
And then can control the population.
Yeah, basically, yeah. How do we do this? I don't know. And then when they start questioning all the lies he's making up, and he's got, how do we be bad? And they start questioning. He's like, I don't know. There's so many different areas of bad and good, and how you live your life to a religious way, wasn't it? It was basically what he was saying. Which
was the best scene in the film for me by a mile. There's a very big set piece where he delivers like his commandments.
Yeah.
Very good scene and really well acted.
I actually quite like watching him, but I could see we were in a cinema full of your high-rate cinema critics, and
not like us.
You weren't there. It was me and Sheephead. But I'm talking.
I saw it before the high-rate people.
High level. And we were there, and I could see a few of them shuffling, like Ricky Gervais, touching and stuff. And I reckon this will get really bad reviews. But I actually thought it was a really good, not really good, but it was a fluffy, feel-good movie. I think his acting was fine in it. I thought the concepts were fine. You'll enjoy watching it.
Because he just plays that character every time.
But does it really? So does Adam Sandler. So does all those other people. So does the guys out of all those other American comedies.
Exactly, and I think he's learning to act. That sounds patronising. What do I know? But I think he's getting a lot better.
So do I.
Your losers doesn't really count.
He's just this bitter, cynical guy, isn't he, Ricky Gervais? Who plays his characters, and he has to kind of, to get his irony and stuff across, he has to strip it down to a base level where everyone can't tell lies and everyone's really sort of wide-eyed and innocent and gullible, and that's how he allows his characters to operate in that sort of world by being cynical, and he can turn out to be a liar and a manipulator and whatnot, and that's how his sort of world revolves, and he's written the movie, and he did it with the last one as well, where he develops this mind control where he can control people's destinies and whatnot. And I just wonder if the fame's gone to his head a little bit. He's got his God complex. I know it plays out. I know it plays out.
He's lost me, mate. He's lost me.
You know what? I think people, because Ricky Gervais is doing that American thing, people want to criticise him and want to put it down, and yet I reckon 90% of people who go to see this movie won't come out and think it's the new Schindler's List or something.
Well,
but what they'll do is they'll come out and say, do you know, it was a nice film, nice feel-good film, and you know, I didn't learn too much. But it did question religion, which is really weird, you know. All American films have to have a fat loser in it, don't they? And this one's got 3.
Yeah.
True.
Three super bad.
Jonah Hill.
I don't know who they all are, but there's 3 fat losers in there, and America seems to love a fat loser in their
Taking over Hollywood, fat losers.
Fat losers, yeah.
And geeks.
Fat losers and geeks, yeah.
Very embarrassed I work here.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
And you're very pretty. That only makes this worse.
And then there's a bit where, which they did quite cleverly, I suppose, was where his dad was breaking into a house back in the day, and it turns out to be Barry from EastEnders, English, and Stephen Merchant's the guy whose house he's breaking in. So they got a little cameo role in it, didn't they?
Ricky Gervais has always done that, and he brings his mates into it. There was Philip Seymour Hoffman's a barman, Ed Norton is the cop who pulls them over, Christopher Guest is in it. There's a lot of good cameos.
I thought both the script and the plot were all over the shop, and it didn't know how to end itself.
The last 2 scripts you turned in were depressing.
They sum it up in like 30 seconds, don't they? And it's like, so you did it yet, and you did it yet, and the whole of the past whatever year or so was all summed up in 30 seconds to make it feel good.
And it's not helped by the fact that there's not a hint of chemistry between him and Jennifer Garner.
We should say at this point, there's a rom-com thrown into all this.
There is a
Jennifer
rom-com.
Garner is his opposite half. And I agree.
She's hot.
Well, yeah, but I didn't like her character.
Oh.
You're not meant to like her character, but
No.
that's why I didn't believe in the romantic thing.
Oh, I see, right, yeah.
If I was going on a date with you...
And if you were attractive like Brad?
Yes. Well, why? Do not have sex with anyone unless you are married to them, is the rule.
It just somehow ended up in that church, that white New England church, which is never a good thing for me in a film. Because it's usually got some tripe with Reese Witherspoon in it.
Or The Graduate, of course.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you want to watch that? It's a good film.
It sounds rubbish. But yeah, it ends in that way, and it's
Got a
like...
good soundtrack to that film.
Should see it. Dustin Hoffman's good.
Yeah, he's good.
This has got... this
nice
one,
car in it as well. They've got Alpha Spider in that, which is lovely.
Don't like cars.
You know what, though?
But this one's got Mr. Blue Sky in it as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, just talk about the soundtrack. I mean, what? Bit of ELO and a bit of Supertramp.
I agree,
I
you're
can't
going to
believe
love that.
it. I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah, Catch the Wind by Donovan in, which is a great tune. But ELO, Mr. Blue Sky, come on. It's one of the worst songs ever written. It's up there with Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton and Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, Joe!
Rubbish.
You've really made yourself look silly.
It was
today.
used for the montage scene, as you can imagine. Would you go and watch it, Joe?
No.
Neil?
Yeah, I think it's a decent concept comedy. Nothing wrong with the concept. He made me laugh. The idea is really interesting. I would thoroughly recommend it.
Yeah, I would as well. It's just a fluffy, feel-good film. You know, you're not going to go and see the greatest film you're ever going to see, but I don't think you'll be disappointed. It's just a nice, feel-good film.
If you could do anything, what would you do?
If I could do anything,
Anything at all.
I would touch girls' boobs.
The Invention of Lying.
It's the greatest movie ever made.